Hello and welcome to the Spearman. Now, this is obviously going to be a polearm focused series, and we're going to be playing with the Vlandians most of the time. Obviously, I'm going to use whatever I can to maximize the spear bracing mechanic that the developers of Bannerlord have added in recent patches. I'm currently playing on version 1.6.4. If you'd like to check out the various mods that I'm using as well, then you can do that in the description down below. There's also some links to them too. Anyway, we have cultures here. We have various bonuses for every single culture. If you want to pause in between each of one of these, and then you can take a look at each one individually if you want to. But for my purposes, very specifically here, Vlandians are, in my opinion, the best, mostly because of the 5% more renown from battles and also 15% more income while serving as a mercenary. I think that is very, very useful. Personally, I feel like recruiting lords to armies costing 20% more influence, that does not matter one bit, in my opinion at least. So what we're going to do is we're just going to create a relatively wonderful looking man here. And yes, that seems about it. Let's make him a little bit taller because he does need to be a polearm user. Let's make him a bit more muscular as well. There we go. And now let's continue onward. So because we want to focus on polearms, I'm also going to think about using some kind of ranged weapon as well. Although we have to consider I can only use a polearm with one or the other. So for example, if I want to use a polearm and a sword and a shield, I will not be able to use a ranged weapon in that case unless it's a throwing weapon stack, and in that case that is just, in my opinion, not very useful at all. It's going to be very limited use there, so I have to be a bit careful about what we decide to do. We're going to go for trade and charm right there. I'm going to try and get as much charm as I possibly can, as well as one-handed skill. One-handed skill is going to be pretty important too. And otherwise, apart from that, I am just going to try and focus on polearm, as I said, and we are generally wanting to make sure that I have the ability to use a wide variety of different weapons if I need it. Now, this is actually SandBox mode. Oh yes, this is SandBox mode. I also have Calradia expanded and Calradia at war installed, which means that there are new spawns on the world map, and there are also many more towns and castles and villages on the map as well. So we have a wide variety of different things that can interact with us while we walk around. Now, because we're playing sandbox mode, we have the ability to choose the age at which our character starts. Now, I'm actually going to be playing with birth and death disabled. Now, the main reason why I want to do that is because whenever a new clan comes into existence, it actually makes things very difficult to eliminate other clans, or indeed that clan themselves. So if that lord or lady ends up being killed in a battle, that causes a crash. At least that's what has happened in my experience. So I'm going to try and prevent that by obviously disabling it. But my primary focus on the reason why I'm disabling the whole birth and death system is to have a bit more of an old school experience, like Warband, because obviously there was no death in that. But we can still execute people, as far as I'm aware, we can still execute people. So I'm going to be starting at age 50, primarily because I would like a bit of a head start in regards to having 8 unspent focus points and 4 unspent attribute points. Bear in mind, there is no Chaos's Tweaks in this series either, because Chaos's Tweaks is not updated for version 1.6.4, so bear that in mind. Speaking of bears, here we go. We have another one. So let me see. I'm just going to swivel those around. We're going to choose a... I would prefer maybe something like this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool, right? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Let's go for that. Playerland, it is indeed called. No, let us not do that. Let's do Bear Tilled, shall we? And we're going to go for Old Man Byron. Old Man Byron, there we go. Alright, so the difficulty preset, we're going to start with Bannerlord here, but I'm obviously going to be changing that. I'm going to change player received damage to 50%. The main reason why I do this is because I don't want to get shot in the face by a javelin or some random stray bolt and then die instantly, because that's not fun for anyone. I just don't think it's a very very cool thing. And I'm also disabling birth and death, as I said, and I'm also reducing the clan member death possibility in battles by 100% as well. And otherwise, that's it. Let's start the game and see where we end up. As far as I'm aware, we're going to start... Aha! We're starting here. Yes. So obviously, because Sargot is not technically here, it is a Velucad instead, and this Sargeth is actually up here. This is very similar to Warband's map, if you remember that one, because Veluca and all of these places are technically in Rodok territory. Because if you remember, the original Calradia was basically like this, and it basically stopped at the border of Rote and Diathma and Omor and all that stuff, and went all the way around. And obviously you had Varcheg there, which was known as Wercheg back in Warband times. And then you obviously had Sargoth right here, which is now Sargeth, and obviously the various other things in the area. So this was technically Rodok and Vlandian territory right here, and then we would go into the Vaegirs, where the Batanians are right now, and then obviously you had the Nords up at the top and all that stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly go into the town before any other lords can get there and try to snatch up a whole bunch of units, because I've actually started numerous games trying to get all of my mods working, because let me just tell you, the amount of compatibility that is available here is very difficult to get working, because the modding community has been having some problems. A lot of modders have decided to stop modding because of the way that Tailworlds has handled the updating system and the modding compatibility as a result of that. Because, I don't know whether you know this, but every single time Tailworlds releases an update, every single mod, or most mods that have anything to add to the game are, well, incompatible with that version, and then the modders have to do many hours worth of work to be able to get them back to the way they were. I'm going to increase my one-handed and polearm skills, because I'd like to obviously use one-handed to begin with, and then we'll switch a little bit later on to using a polearm. But if I have a spear as my default weapon, then I'll probably end up using that anyway. We're also going to be putting a couple of points in riding and athletics, but I think mostly riding. We're not really going to be a lancer kind of character or anything like that. We're mostly going to be a charming guy who is relatively decent at riding and athletics, and he's going to be kind of good at tactics as well, and generally he's going to be fighting on foot for the most part. I'm going to actually put some more points in vigor here as well, because I want to level up my polearm skill as fast as possible. So increase your damage with polearms 2%. That is all very well and good, but yeah, that's the main reason why modding is very difficult at the moment, because a lot of people, as I say, are stopping doing it just for the sheer fact that they have to spend so many hours of their spare time, you know, rectifying the situation, and until Tailworlds actually fixes that compatibility problem and actually, you know, makes it easier for modders to get their mods back up to the right versions, a lot of people are not willing to stick around, unfortunately. Anyway, it seems like we're getting a lot of war declarations right here, so I'm just going to speed that up real quick. As you can see, these are all of the spare factions. These are all of the cultist factions and deserters and harbingers of death, the outcasts and various other people. And I'm just going to get rid of all these pop-ups here. These are all the sort of new bandit factions that you're going to be fighting against, and we're just going to continue running around here. Now, I chose Vlandia also because I know them to have... Please don't catch me. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, this is very bad. I'm gonna pay for... Oh, they don't care? They don't care. Okay, I have a spear. Oh dear. Yeah, this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work for me. Yes, Calradia at war, everyone. This is what it does. Yes, indeed, indeed. Okay, let me see what I could do here. This is gonna be very harsh. And they have... Oh, they actually... They literally... Oh, look at this. Oh my... Wow, I literally would have just died instantly if I had the damage modifiers on higher. Okay, let me see if I can maybe do a little bit here. Ah, this mace is absolutely awful as well. I was very much hoping to buy a new sword relatively soon. Maybe I can use the spear instead then. The spear might make more sense. Maybe this guy's going to run into a tree or something. I'm going to tell my people just to charge in. Ah, yes. Also, my proficiency is absolutely awful right now. Okay, come on now. Yes. That was good. Can we get some more, though? That was also good. Fantastic. Can we... No, don't block me, sir. I would very much appreciate it. Ah, there we go. Thank you very much. Okay, great. That is exactly what we want to see. Now, hopefully, my forces are going to be able to distract the enemy long enough for me to be able to actually do something. Bear in mind that they do seem to be holding out quite well at the moment. Unfortunately, I say that, and then one of my guys gets killed. That is not particularly good. Oh, dear. Oh, that was the raid boss himself. That was the raid boss himself. All right, that is going to be a surrender on our part. Yeah, that is going to be a surrender. There was not much I could do about that, unfortunately, but this is, in my opinion, this is one of those times. This is the hardest part of the game, hilariously enough. This is the hardest part of the game, and I suppose I'll see you in just a moment. Well, this is a slightly easier little engagement that we have on our hands here. This is against 4 looters. I was released for about 200 gold. Obviously, as I say, this is the very start of the game. And personally, as I say, I find this probably the most difficult stage of any campaign in Bannerlord, especially when you have custom spawns from Calradia at War installed. If you have that, you're going to see these very high tier bandits, and they're going to be very difficult to deal with. But, you know, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. I don't think any person that has just started playing the game could actually defeat those guys. You just got to stay away from them, basically. That's the only thing you can really do. You just got to stay away from them and just hope that they don't get you into a battle too quickly. That is the only thing you can really hope for, at least in my opinion. Anyway, let's see if we can do some damage here against these looters. I'm going to try and level up my polearm skill, maybe get to 50 or so. Bear in mind that obviously, as I say, I'm not going to turn myself into a lancer or anything like that. I mean, maybe it's going to be useful later down the line. Maybe I will, you know, be somewhat of a lancer, but I'm most likely going to be focusing on being an infantry-focused pikeman so that we can actually concentrate on utilizing this spear bracing mechanic. And I haven't actually used that before, so that's going to be a lot of fun to find out what it's all about. Unfortunately, I don't have any ranged abilities at the moment, so this is kind of difficult, especially considering I don't actually want to die. These guys are literally taking so much punishment right now. Ah, it seems like they're running now. Well, let's get them. There you go, got him. Alright, hilariously enough, literally took me that long just to get them down really low, and then all of a sudden, boom, then I'm able to do massive damage because I hit him in the head. Yes, isn't that fantastic? Anyway, let's level up the Vlandian, well, the Vlandian people that leveled up, and then we can get a couple of footmen, which is pretty nice. As you can see, I'm right next to the village that they attacked me at before, which was... yeah, don't remind me. Let's try and be a little bit careful. Okay, yeah, this is obviously... we might be able to take on some mountain bandits. I still have the combat strength display thing, by the way, as well, because I thought that was quite helpful in determining a suitable fight for us, potentially. And we're just going to wait here for a little bit of extra time as well. And it seems like we did reach 61 in polearm. Oh, look at this. Polearm attacks that deal damage over 25% of the enemy cavalry's hit points have a 25% chance to dismount them, and infantry troops in the formation you're leading have their damage increased by 10% against enemy cavalry. You also have this, which is thrust attacks with polearms have a 30% chance to knock opponents back. Personally, I like this. I like braced much more. I think that is very useful if you can use the spear bracing mechanic. And hopefully I'm going to figure out how to actually spear brace, because I have no idea how to do it yet. Alright, well, what first episode would not be complete if we didn't actually, you know, participate in a tournament? So that's exactly what we're going to do. And as I said before, Chaos' Tweaks is not working with this version, so we are back down to the regular betting amounts, which is kind of unfortunate. Anyway, 150 gold to 600 if we can achieve any kind of victory here. And bear in mind that I am really, really bad. Yes, my skills are awful. So, I might actually do okay. I'm kind of surprised. What? How was I able to beat a Vlandian champion? That is unusual. What? That much damage? Really? Wow. Okay. I'm kind of surprised. Kind of surprised, got to say. But yeah. I'm happy with that. That means that we don't have to fight the Vlandian champion in the in the final round. 1 versus 1 might be kind of difficult. That was a nice little bit of damage right there. I'm surprised I didn't get any polearm skill from that. Oh yeah, that's actually something to bear in mind, that the tournament XP that you get is much less than normal. Because obviously, as I said before, Chaos' Tweaks is not installed, so obviously it is a little bit less than usual for my series, and Tailworlds did make it so that you don't actually get a lot of wow, we're really knocking these guys down, but yeah, we don't really get a lot of experience in tournaments. There you go, though. We were able to get through. I'm surprised. What is actually going on here? Okay, so we're up against a okay, this is cool. I like these weapons. I like these weapons a lot. I'm very worried though. Oh no, he crushed through. That was bad. Oh, that was really bad. Wow, if he had literally hit me on the head, I don't even know what he did, but if he had hit me on the head right there, I probably would have been in a really bad position. That would have been super, super awful. Okay, now, I don't have any other weapon apart from a spear, so if I lose my mount, that is going to be game over, I think. Maybe it would be, maybe it wouldn't be. It depends. I mean, maybe this would be a good opportunity for me to try out my spear bracing, but this is kind of a do-or-die situation in regards to my wallet as well, because if I do end up dying here, I'm going to waste all of the bets that I've made so far, so I should probably win, right? Yeah, I should probably win. There we go. So I did... look at the pitiful amount of money that I just made. Okay, well, we did get some very nice armor, so I suppose that's the thing that we really have to take away from that and be very thankful for. But yeah, we got some nice armor, as you can see right here. That's going to make a huge difference to our survivability, hopefully. And otherwise, we now have 1200, which is, well... not great, but it's going to at least pay for our wages for a little bit of time. I have to be a little bit careful about what tasks I end up taking as well. Ooh, some looters that I wouldn't mind fighting. These guys seem pretty good for me, so wouldn't mind taking a look at them. And what else do we have? Troops in one-handed. Okay, one-handed weapons you wield have their handling increased by 20%. Troops in the formation you're leading have their one-handed combat effectiveness as if they were 1 tier higher. And shield bashes now deal 50% more damage and stun your enemies for longer. And infantry troops take 4% less melee damage while in shield wall formation. I think personally that's probably what we're going to take, because in more ways than one, we're probably going to be using shield wall formation. Although, as I say, I'm not entirely sure if there's a spear bracing formation or anything like that, but I'm just going to see if that maybe works out for us quite nicely. And now I have a focus point. All right, I have a focus point. Bear in mind, I'm not going to get one attribute point every single level anymore because, again, Chaos' Tweak's not installed. So we're going to be very selective about what we go for here. Should I go for another point in writing skill? Should I go for a point in something else like, I don't know, steward, medicine, trade, any of these things? I do not know one bit. Maybe scouting would be good. I'm thinking charm, actually, for the moment. Let's do charm. Alright. Looters. Let's attack. Let us attack them immediately. Okay, they're actually, they're actually stronger than us at the moment. This might be bad. This might be very bad, but my new armor should, you know, should do all right. Should do all right. Okay, So I'm going to just take a brief look and just see what we can do in terms of our formations. So I'm going to put them in shield wall formation because obviously I just gained that new perk, which is going to allow us to take less damage from you know, melee attacks and stuff. And I think that's all we can really do. Yeah, that seems to be all that we can really do at the moment. So I'm not entirely sure what the spear bracing is all about, but obviously I don't really have any spearmen at the moment, so guess we really shouldn't be too perplexed by it just yet. As you can see, my Vlandians are doing a fantastic job, and it seems as though they are already running away. Oh, I can't even tell my forces to charge now because they are literally just running. Well, this actually gives me a good opportunity, I suppose, to try and level up my polearms a little bit, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go and do a little bit of pokey action right here. Can I kill one of them at least? Just one. Alright, so we were able to beat them down with my mace, hilariously enough. I'm not very good with a one-handed mace, all things considered, but yeah, we did actually pretty nicely. And now we have a couple of extra infantry to go along with our other forces. Now, we do have a helmet here, which I can obviously use. It's only going to be two protection or whatever, and we also have some arm wraps as well, which are maybe going to be kind of useful. And otherwise, what we're going to try to do now is we're just going to walk around Vlandian territory, trying to help as many people as possible. Oh no, a bandit base. Okay. I suppose we will help you with the bandit base. I am not that big a fan of doing bandit bases this early on, because I'm very low skilled. But we'll see what happens. We have another 3 perk points to spend, so let's have a look here. Increase your charge damage. I don't care about that. Increase your maneuvering. I suppose we'll do that. One-handed. What else do we have? 2% swing speed with one-handed weapons. Or increases your damage with axes and maces by 5%. I'm not really going to use an axe or a mace. So swing speed is going to be the thing I'll take. And then we also have 82 in polearms now, so increase your thrust damage with polearms by 10%. And infantry troops in the formation you are leading have plus 30 to their polearm skills, which is very good. That's a very good bonus. And otherwise, increase your swing speed with polearms by 5%. Now that is fantastic if we're going to be using a slashing polearm. Now bear in mind, my plan is to use a polearm that has versatility. So in other words, I will be able to use it with slashing abilities, and I'll be able to use it with thrusting abilities as well, so that I can potentially use it as a spear as well as a slashing weapon. At least that is my goal. Hopefully I'm going to be able to make that work. But as I very badly want the infantry troops in your formation you're leading have plus 30 to their polearm skills, I want that so badly, I'm going to probably take that. And 5% swing speed, is that really going to help me that much? Maybe, but I'm going to take this instead. There we go. And we have nothing else to spend. Okay, so the hideout is all the way over here. I guess we will try it. I guess we will try it. Hello there. They're all running from me at the moment. I kind of want to fight them. I kind of want to fight these guys. Oh. Well, Battanian's helping me, so I guess we'll just allow him to help us and just auto-resolve, I suppose. There's not much more I can do there, really. And otherwise, how many people do they have in here? I actually can't tell. Okay, so let's wait for nightfall, and we'll see if we can if we can achieve victory. I don't even have a shield. All right, so here we go. We have 10 out of 10 going in, including myself. Let's do this. Okay, yeah, so I don't even have a shield. I'm going to have to pick one up from the opponent, I assume. Let's put my guys into a shield wall if they actually do go into a shield wall. Yes, they do go into a shield. Actually, going into shield wall here is absolutely useless. Or is it? Maybe it's not useless. Yeah, let's actually go into shield wall. I'm going to hide behind these guys for the most part. Whew, okay, I was very worried there for a second. Okay, I'm going to tell my units to charge in now because we only have 6 enemies remaining, as you can see at the top there. That's actually really cool, by the way. They seem to have added that as a quality of life improvement in this version of the game, and I am very, very pleased that they did something like that. It really makes a huge difference to your overall strategy, because obviously I know now that I have 4 enemies left, and now I don't have to guess, because there's some random amount of units in the near future that I have no idea how I'm going to be able to defeat. But yeah, now we know 100% that there's 4 left. Oh, did I really just get myself killed? I suppose the only good thing about me dying there was the fact that all of my units have now leveled up, or at least most of my units have leveled up, which is pretty good. And, oh. I did not actually want them to go into infantry. That was actually a mistake. I wanted them to go into spearmen. Ah. I need to change that. Okay, next time we see our footmen leveled up, we need to change that, because we really do not want them to go into spearmen right now. We want them to go into we don't want them to go into infantry. We want them to go into spearmen, so then they can become billmen, and then they can become either Vosgiers or pikemen. And I'm going to hope for a combination of the two, basically. So we're going to have, well, hopefully later on down the line when we have a more advanced army, I will have, I don't know, maybe 80 of each, and then I will have them on different hotkeys as well. So I'll have, you know, I don't know, Vosgiers on 1 and pikemen on 2 or whatever, and then I'll be able to change their orders independently, and that's the hope at the very least. So yes, okay, my bad, did not realize that was actually going on. We do have a number of additional perks that we can also spend, so let's see what we get. Increase your maximum hit points by 5, and foot troops in your party gain 5 hit points, or movement speed. Well, I personally like movement speed a great deal, and I would prefer to go for that, so that's what we're going to take. And otherwise, your one-handed weapon damage is increased by 5% while mounted, or reduces the effect of wielding a shield on your combat movement speed. I think I'm probably going to go for that. We also have another focus point here as well to spend, so I'm actually going to be going for another point in Charm, and we're going to have to wait until Nightfall once again. But there probably won't be that many people in here now, or at least I hope that there won't be that many people in here this time around. But we have actually a much stronger army than we did beforehand. Oh no, there's 10 again. Of course there is. Okay, well, I think I can probably tell my units just to charge in now. You know the reason why that happened? Because I got ganged up on at the very start by those 2 enemies, and I decided to be a little bit more offensive than defensive, and that obviously resulted in me taking more damage than I otherwise should have, or, you know, potentially should have allowed, basically, because, you know, you need HP. You need HP. I don't have RTS camera installed with this campaign either, so I can't take over for you know, with one of my other troops or anything like that. Maybe I should install it, because I think it's updated. I haven't checked that actually, but yeah, RTS camera is very, very important. I mean, especially, I mean, that's the thing. Hideout battles would usually continue if I had Chaos' Tweaks installed, but I obviously don't have that, so that's obviously the reason why the feature is just not there. You know, it does automatically quit in that case. This mace is actually really, really fun to use, by the way. The one I'm using right now is really fast and does a lot of damage to these units, but obviously these units have literally no armor on whatsoever, so I guess I can kind of understand why that would be the case. Anyway, I'm gonna try and replace it with a sword quite soon, and hopefully that's going to allow us to do some more damage. Alright, so there we go. We were able to take out the bandit hideout, and as a result we gained a huge amount of money as well as loot and experience too. Now, if we go to my character sheet right here, you can see that I did level up my charm skill massively, just due to the fact that we have so many focus points in that at such a low level. It really makes a huge difference. So what we're going to do is, I'm thinking we're probably going to go for 15% reduced barter penalty. I think generally we're going to be bartering a lot in this series, so I'm thinking we'll probably take that, because personally I don't really like Icebreaker at all. I think that this is, well, I think it's kind of bordering on useless almost, because you have a 10% chance to gain +2 relation with them. Only for the first time. Only for the first time that you meet them. So in my opinion, it is kind of meh. And I don't really think that that's that useful. Otherwise, 20% more renown from battles. We're obviously going to be taking that, because that, in my opinion, I think stacks with the Vlandian culture bonus, which is obviously a thing that gives you 5% more renown from battles. So we will have 25% more renown from battles, which is exactly what we want to go for. And then otherwise, what else do we have here? 20% more damage while wielding a one-handed weapon without a shield, and you also get double renown from tournaments. That could be useful, but I'm actually going to be increasing my hit points and melee troops, gaining 5% more experience after every battle. I personally want to level my troops up as fast as they possibly can. Otherwise, let's take a look at my armaments here. We do have a new hat. Ugh, it looks terrible, I know. I know it looks terrible, but, you know, we're just going to have to deal with it for the moment. Do we have anything else here that I can maybe use? The spear is better in terms of... Oh, it has spear bracing, actually. The other thing does not have spear bracing, so this would give me an opportunity to practice spear bracing. So I'm pretty happy with that, actually. Pretty happy with that. And otherwise, what else do we have here? Well, not much, so I can pretty much just move on. Now, I was actually being chased by a bunch of barbarians, as you can see right here. These barbarians really, really badly wanted to murder me, and I am perfectly happy staying in the town. That would be very bad. Yes, it would be very, very bad. And I also sold my prisoners as well, and I gained 10 roguery skill or something like that. As it is always the case, it is very easy to level up at the very start of the game. And it is just as easy to lose your entire army as I have shown you. Yes, indeed. Okay, so let's move on. And there's the barbarians. I might be able to help out these vassals by attacking the barbarians with them. Are you gonna... See, that's what you got to be very careful of as well. A lot of the allies, quote-unquote allies, that you're going to see in the game, they're not really your allies. They don't care anything about you at all. And as a result, whenever you're trying to engage with them to try and maybe eliminate a, you know, somewhat pesky small band of bandits, whoever they may be, and obviously the larger party cannot catch up to them, it's, well, pretty... well, risky. It's risky to go after those guys, because they're going to be very, very difficult to deal with. Ah, there's the spear bracing. There you go. It is X. So you just press X, and then boom, spear bracing has activated. And let me see now. Shield wall. Let's do this. Gonna hide behind here. Hiding behind here is my strategy. Yes, indeed. Let's just try and do as much damage as possible here. Just want to try and level up my one-handed as much as I possibly can. Generally, I don't care about my one-handed, by the way. My one-handed is not even the main goal here. The one-handed is just a means to an end, basically. It's just a means for me to level up relatively fast, and now we also have the ability to level up my spearmen instead of the infantry. That is what we want to do. And we are going to continue going for swordsmen here, and then the swordsmen can level up into sergeants, which is obviously just the default. So we'll do that. There we go. So that's going to cost me 470, not too bad. We also have a number of things here. Hilariously enough, this charred wooden hammer is looking pretty good right now. I mean, apart from the fact that the blunt damage is really bad, but generally everything else is looking okay with it. Otherwise, let's just take all of the loot. And I'm pretty much, I think we're cool. I think we're doing okay right now. I don't think I need to worry too much about things. And I would like to fight these mountain bandits if at all possible, because mountain bandits actually do have cavalry units. So if I could try out my spear bracing a little bit, that would be very helpful. Because as I say, I have no experience with spear bracing whatsoever. That was a mechanic that they added in, and it was in a version that I wasn't playing at the time. So it's an unknown quantity to me at the moment. So it would be fantastic if I could try it out. Okay, hello there. Let me get these guys over here, put them into a shield wall formation. Okay, so unfortunately it looks as though this cavalry person is not doing a very good job of coming over here, as you can see. Seems to be a bit silly. Not entirely sure what they're doing there, but okay. Oh, well, they all seem to be running away, apart from the cavalry person. Well, that's absolutely fine. Spear brace. Ooh, now that's nice. You see that? Yeah, I spear braced against that guy. Obviously, I didn't do any damage whatsoever, or very, very little damage, but I was able to stop the horse in its tracks, which was pretty good. Let me just see what happens when I do super speed. Yeah, I have the super speed mod installed as well, because obviously I need to, you know, to have these kinds of situations work out quite well. And let me see. Can I pick up, I'm going to pick up this... I'm going to pick up this javelin. Oh, if only I had the skill that actually would allow me to penetrate his shield. That would have killed him right then and there, but unfortunately I don't have that at the moment, obviously. It's highly unlikely I'm actually going to have it, in general. Would you mind just, sir, would you mind just turning around real quick? Maybe I can find some more thrown weapons somewhere here. I know he was throwing them up against the rock randomly. Let's tell my forces just to charge in anyway. Maybe he'll come back and try to attack me. Yes, he is. Hello there, sir. Would you like to deal with me? Oh, he got me, even though I was spear bracing. Look at that. Yeah, so you do have the ability to be interrupted in your action of spear bracing, which is good to know, because otherwise I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't tried it out. And there you go. Okay, so now we can basically say, yes, we're done. And we're getting so much renown for this, just purely for that 25% extra renown bonus. It really makes a huge difference. And there we go. Good amount of prisoners too. We do have a number of pieces of loot as well. Okay, so generally, I think we're doing okay, but we are going to need to do something more. Okay, well, on foot, your weapon handling is increased by 10%. Foot troops gain 10% increased weapon handling. Otherwise, decreases your armor weight by 15%, and tier 3 plus troops in your formation gain 4% movement speed. I think weapon handling. I think weapon handling sounds kind of fun to me, so we'll go for that. And then we're going to go for the last point in charm. I'm really going all out on charm here. I really am. And otherwise, I would like to go for some more tactics in this particular series as well. I personally feel like having some additional tactics could be quite useful, as being able to move around fast and to reduce my disorganized state and so on and so forth might be kind of useful, but I don't really want to spend that point in cunning right now, so I'm going to just spec it into endurance instead. So these guys are running away. That's kind of interesting. Oh, there's two groups. Oh, two groups of them. Okay, so it's another one of these. Oh, okay, well, that's absolutely fine, I guess. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'm very low in HP now, by the way, but I am on a horse, so I might be able to prevent myself from dying. At least, maybe a little bit more than I was last time. So let's see if we can get to 100 polearms, shall we? Let's try and get to 100 polearm skill. Whoa, that was some nice damage. That, I gotta say, that was actually some very nice damage. Gotta be careful about the thrown weapons. They do have a lot of javelins. Let's put them into shield wall so they take 4% less melee damage. Yes, there we go, we got 100. Bear in mind that every single time you get a kill against an enemy unit, you're going to gain an experience bonus. Instead of just attacking them normally, whenever you get a killing blow, it gives you additional experience, because obviously that's exactly how it should be. You know, if someone is just regularly attacking and they are not getting any kills, then obviously they're not going to get all of the experience that you would have otherwise gained. Anyway, let's take a look here. Increase your combat movement speed with polearms by 2%, and infantry troops in the formation you're leading have their movement speed increased by 2%. Otherwise, no, this is what we're going to take. We are going to take this. Polearm attacks that deal damage over 25% of your opponent's hit points have 25% chance to knock them down. That sounds super fun to me. You know, it kind of makes me wish I'd taken that other ability now. This one, thrust attacks with polearms have 30% more chance to knock opponents back. In my opinion, that and this would have been insane, because you're getting 30% chance and then 25% chance on top of that. If you do 25% more of the opponent's hit points, obviously, with that particular perk. But if you can imagine that, that's basically like a crowd control god in that case. You're going to literally be preventing the opponent from pretty much moving anywhere for an extended period of time. It's really going to make a huge difference. Anyway, there we go. We're just going to recruit some more people. We have some bandits here. I might actually go and just automatically attack these guys. Just level up my tactics a little bit there. Gain some prisoners as well, gain some additional armor, and we also have the ability to now level up a bunch of units too. So that is obviously something that we really badly want to do too. Alright, otherwise, did we gain it? Ah, yes, look at that. My steward skill has actually advanced as well. Party consumes 10% less food, or party wages less. I think less food is pretty good, and no morale penalty from having a single type of food either. So just in case I come upon hard times, it's probably going to be kind of useful for me to go for that. And then preventative medicine increases character's hit points by 5, but also the character heals 30% of lost health points after each battle. Although, in my opinion, this is better. Increase the character's healing rate by 30%. I mean, really, how can you say no to that, in my opinion? That's just so good. Although, the other thing is also very good. I personally have a very hard time deciding between the two every single time I, level up in medicine. It's always a bit of a difficult decision to make. Art of the Trade. Do I care about Art of the Trade? Maybe I do. Maybe I can... I don't know. I'll find the right market for the clay myself. I'll pay you just so that I can get some relation with you or something. And we'll go and just sell the clay at Praven or wherever. I don't really care. I just want to try and get relation with the various villages in the area. And hopefully that's going to make a big difference. As you can see, my wages have just completely gone to nothingness. They really have. They have literally just gone away. And maybe I'm going to need to sell some stuff here as well. So maybe what I'll do, let's just see if there's anything good here for me. Doesn't seem like it, so let's sell all of that. Oh, another 1,000. That's pretty good. Ooh, a nice sword. Yes, I will take that instead of the spiked mace. And we're going to leave all of this because you never know whether I'm going to do any smithing as well. So that could be kind of useful. Otherwise, let's take a look at the... Oh, caravan ambush. I don't think I can do that just yet, unfortunately. I think I need more troops. I only have 20 troops or something like that at the moment, so that's really bad. Otherwise, let's go into another tournament, shall we? Because the tournament does seem to be quite lucrative. for renown as well as for potential gear too, because even though this is, I don't think, better than what I currently have, it is going to be something good to sell. And selling generally is kind of useful. I mean, I guess, kind of. And we are going to get some, well, some skill points fighting in the tournament nevertheless. Nice. Oh, that was some damage and a half. Okay, skip these rounds and we can bet on the next one. There we go. All right, it's just a 1 versus 1? Really? Oh, I'm kind of surprised. Okay. Well, here's the thing. If I manage to get myself knocked off my mount, I might be able to practice spear bracing again if this particular polearm has that functionality. If it doesn't, then obviously I can't do that. And I'm just going to have to practice manually, I guess. But that is definitely something that I want to get really, really good at in this series. I want to try and have those situations where we're up against the Khuzait or something, and we have an entire army focused, full of literal polearm units, and it's just going to be an insane view of a massive horde of Khuzait cavalry, you know, descending upon us from the mountains, and we are just standing there, resolute in our efforts to defend against their overwhelming might. And, well, we're going to have pokey sticks to help us with that, obviously. Okay, so, oh, look at this. They've given me a shield. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. There we go, the little basher perk coming in handy right there. Being able to stun them for extended periods of time, really making a huge difference. And here's one of my future units. Nice, there we go. That was very well done, if I do say so myself, and we have also gained a padded coat. Now, speaking of padded coat, I might actually like to get a companion. So let's actually hire one of them, and then we'll actually see what he's all about, because I have no idea what he's good at. He's good at throwing, one-handed, athletics, and, oh, medicine! Look at that! He has 120 in medicine. That's very good. Okay, I like that quite a bit. That means that it might actually be a good idea for me to give him this instead of, well, instead of using it myself, I suppose. Well, selling it, shall we say. Yes, using it myself, aka selling. Yes, indeed. Okay, so apart from the fact that he's obviously an athletics user, which means that we don't even need to give him a horse, that's pretty good, no? I think that's pretty nice. Anyway, let's take a look here. Art of the trade once again. I don't really care about that. As I said, I'm going to sell the clay at Praven here, so we might as well just go ahead and do that. Oh, we're actually not even getting a big loss. I bought it for 403 or 408 or something like that, and now we just sold it for 385. So I'm pretty happy with how that went, to be honest. Anyway, this is a good place to buy some horses, so I think I will actually end up doing that. Let's buy some sumpter horses, and we'll buy some mules as well. And then we could also buy some saddle horses too, if we wanted to, but I don't know whether I really want to do that right now, so we're just going to pay the 650 and then we'll move on. I just want to have a decent amount of carry capacity, because the carry capacity is definitely going to, well, it's kind of making a big difference in generally how much you're able to do with everything. So if you come across a huge amount of brigands, like for example we might actually do here, then it's going to be very useful to have that additional carry capacity. So let's see what we can do. I'm going to just wait here for some time, because I think brigands are generally going to be coming around this area quite often. As you can see right here, we have some looters. There we go. And we're just going to auto-resolve against these guys. It's going to be super easy, and we're going to gain a lot of experience this way as well. Oh yeah, that's actually something that we want to do too. We want to change this. So, Vougiers or pikemen? I think at the moment we're going to be selecting Vougiers, because pikemen at the moment are not going to be that useful, at least in my opinion. I think the ability for Vougiers to be able to fight against a wide variety of different opponents, whether that be infantry or whether that be cavalry or anything, basically, is going to be the thing that will help us the most, in comparison to pikemen, which are not really capable of doing, well, that much against anything but cavalry. So it's going to be a very useful thing indeed for us. Okay, do I need to search for more? Ah, hello there. There they are. More Sea Raiders, thank you. Okay, so is that going to get me the thing that I need? Is that going to give me the task complete? I hope so. We got some Sea Raider warriors right there as well, and oh, look at this, a much better sword. Thank you very much for the much better sword, and a shield too. Yes, thank you. Very good. Okay, well, we'll take the rest of the loot. Thank you very much. And there you go. We actually helped them with that. Now we can go here, sell the prisoners. That's obviously not going to get me that much, but we can also get some more units. And we can also go and sell some of this stuff too for another 336. And they also have something. I can't sell their products. That's not going to be something that I really want to participate in. So many more villages. Look at this. Look at how many villages they actually have. Thanks to Calradia expanded right there. And obviously huge amount more bandits in every single respect as well, thanks to Calradia at war. Okay, die like the disloyal filth you are. Whoa, that's harsh. Okay, we're going to fight these Botanian deserters manually this time, because we haven't fought these guys before, and I think it could be quite fun to find out what they're like. So let's go for a nice shield wall formation. Actually, the cavalry shouldn't do that, so let's make them go into a line. There we go. Let's make them go into a line right there. And we're actually going to just tell them to go into a skein, and then we're going to tell them to auto-delegate. Yes, auto-delegate should be quite good. And let's get out my spear. I actually have a shield now. How fancy. How fancy. Okay, let me see now. Can I... Oh yeah, I need to get myself a new horse. Oh yeah, that's something I badly want. Hopefully, these guys are going to maybe drop a horse or something that might actually allow me to charge slightly faster on the fields of battle. I mean, look how slow I am right now. It's really, really pathetic. It really is. These guys are actually kind of dangerous. But thankfully, my cavalry seem to be doing so much damage to them that we don't even need to worry. This guy over there, though, needs to die. It seems like he's doing battle with one of our cavalry units over there. I can't believe... Do I have a Vlandian Knight? Apparently I have a Vlandian Knight. How did I get one of those? I have no idea. I might have to bring out my sword here. There's only one left. I would like to do damage with my polearm here. It seems like, never mind. Apparently the Vlandian Knight was just absolutely murdering everything in sight. How many of those do we have? We have 2? Really? Okay. I'm kind of surprised about that. I have no idea how we even got those. Did I rescue them or something? I have no clue. I have no clue. But thankfully, wow, they can actually level up into a Vlandian champion too? You need a warhorse to be able to do that, though. That's insane. Okay. Oh, look at this. Much better helmet. Better gloves. Oh, yeah. This was certainly worth me attacking these guys. Absolutely worth it. Wow. Yeah. That was really, really good. Okay, great. Massive upgrades across the board right there. And we are now going to be able to level up our forces even further. Actually, no, I just did that. Never mind. We don't need to level up our forces any further. Oh, escort the merchant caravan. I think we might be able to do that if I just had slightly more units. I think we might be able to do it. Let's just sell a couple of extra people. We're going to go into the arena once again because there's a helmet available here which might be much better than what I'm wearing. Yes, it is. It is better than what I'm wearing. Oh, I did not want to watch this round, actually. Do I want to skip the current match? Yes, thank you very much. Okay, so let's just bet. And yeah, my polearm proficiency at the moment is kind of lacking in comparison to my one-handed, so I would like to maybe do a little bit better with that. Maybe try and level it up a little faster. I'm not entirely sure what is the best way to level up polearms. I think with a slashing weapon, right? With a slashing polearm, that's probably going to be the thing that will help us out the most. There we go, finally. Vlandian spearman. He was knocked off his mount in the first attack that we had against him. Like that guy, as you can see. He was also knocked off his mount immediately. Oh wow, he took a massive amount of damage in the process of fighting the various people right there. Okay, there we go. It's one-handed round. Oh, we're up against a Vlandian recruit. Wouldn't it be amusing if I literally get killed by this guy? I almost did just now. Yeah, kind of. I mean, not almost, but still. Kind of, let my guard down, you know, let my guard down a little bit. We're up against a Vlandian Knight and a Vlandian Vanguard. This is actually kind of bad, but thankfully I'm doing massive damage right here. It's all due to my one-handed skill being very high at the moment, because I focused on leveling that up very early on, and we now have the opportunity in the final round. Whew, okay, that was a little bit too close for my liking, but there you go. We did end up being victorious, and that is a lovely helmet to go along with our new chest piece as well. So pretty happy with that. Okay, so let me just sort by value. Thank you very much. Is this actually better than what I was using? No, that is not better. Okay, that is perfectly fine. So let's see. I can sell a bunch of stuff now, or I can give my other helmet to this guy, which I think is probably going to be better than what he was using. Yes, indeed it is. We don't have any other shields for him. It might make sense for me to buy a shield for him actually right at this point. Because, yeah, let me see. We probably want to get him something relatively cheap, but kind of good. I'm going to buy, I'd like a round shield. Where's round shields? There are no round shields, really? Huh. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Okay, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this myself, and then we're going to give him the cracked round one, I guess, because it's slightly better than, well, nothing, I guess. Ooh, a bandit base. Alright, yeah, we'll do the bandit base, because that's going to give us 2,000 gold. Bear that in mind. I will go to the hideout myself. Oh, yes, I will. There it is. Oh, it is a Sea Raider hideout, though. That's going to be very, very difficult for us to deal with, in my opinion. But that just gives us something to look forward to in the next episode. I thank you very much for watching our first foray into polearm combat and focusing on polearm-based units. And we're also using Calradia Expanded and Calradia at War, among other mods. If you'd like to check out the mod list, there is a bunch of links in the description, and yeah, hopefully you'll find something there that you may enjoy using as well. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.